Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. I am joined by Phill and Jordan. I believe Seth is at a gender reveal party, so he will not be. He actually said he might be here a little late, so Seth might hop on a little late today. We have our Week 17 preview. We have starts, we have sits, we have sleepers, all that good stuff. And Seth actually put in his starts, sits, and sleepers to help us out there, so he will kind of be with us while he's at his gender reveal party. And yeah,
is it his own gender reveal?
I did not ask. So that is a fair question.
Never too late to do it.
I personally thought he was. Jordan, go ahead.
It's never too late to do a gender reveal nowadays.
It's never too late.
I was gonna say I thought he was cleaning. He gives off elfish vibes. I thought he was cleaning up Santa's workshop or something overtime hours. Like Christmas just ended, he got to do a final shift, then he'd hop on a little bit later. Like he gives off elfish vibes a little bit, right?
He gives off elfish vibes. I don't know if it's the ears or it's those pointy shoes he wears,
or that like blonde locks, curly hair that he has. That just
It's way too angry driving to be an elf, I will say.
No, I think that actually leans into it a little bit more. Like when he's not delivering presents, he's on the naughty list.
Okay, whatever. Should we congratulate Jordan, new Uncle Phill? You were saying something like that. We want to congratulate him on that.
No, stop.
Jordan,
I'm not doing that. I'm alive in the flesh via Zoom.
Barely,
which is good
alive.
Enough, I think.
Yeah. Jordan's brother's dog had puppies, but he is not claiming them as his nieces and nephews. So there you have it there. Jordan's rocking the new Dude sweatshirt. That's pretty cool. Check that out on YouTube at TFF Dudes. Still got his tree up. He's still got his tree up in the background. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Phill, you take all your Christmas stuff down before we get until we dive into this.
I have not taken down. I have my tree. I know after Seth asked me flat out on the pod, and I said yes, I did in fact have a tree. I had to ask. Jordan was leaning in hard on me. Jordan, do you have a tree?
Yeah, I have a tree. It's behind me. Don't you see it?
No, a real tree.
No, I do. I actually do. Yeah, I have a tree.
Okay. I have a tree. I haven't seen Trent's tree. We're always hanging out. You know what, Trent? You got a dude den where we were supposed to do podcasts. Now we all go virtual, which grinds my gears. But you didn't do a lick of Christmas decorating in that place. What's up with you, man?
I will have an extra tree next year. We're getting a new tree, so this will be more festive next year.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold
and look at your background. You've had naked walls for the last 3 years in that office.
Hold on. Go ahead, Jordan.
You're not a live tree person? You do fake trees?
I'm not a live tree person. No.
It's disgusting, Jordan.
I'll be honest, Trent. That might be the most shocking thing I've heard on this podcast. That you don't. Yeah. I would have took you for sure for a live tree person.
The older I get, the more I like the fake tree. It's just.
Are you like the black sheep of your family or what? Because I feel like everyone in your family has live trees.
I kind of think I am the black sheep of my family. But, my wife just gets the tree out of the attic and puts it up every year. It's real nice. It works really good. We do go to the tree farm and all that stuff, but we don't have a real tree. Like maybe
so you go to the tree farm, but you don't. So you go to the Save Mart parking lot and you don't get a tree.
No, I go to Hillcrest, ride the train.
What's the point of going to the Christmas tree farm if you're not going to get a tree?
You ride the train.
You're not depriving your kids of like life's joy when you don't get a real Christmas tree?
I think if I ever got a bigger house, I might get a real Christmas tree. I might go back to the real tree.
Why? Your ceilings?
I have a real tree in my house right now.
Trent, you have at least 8.5 to 10 foot ceilings like that. I don't understand why a
Phill,
bigger house.
Put Christmas lights on your house, then talk to me about me being festive.
Get a real tree. Okay? Get a real tree. You're sitting over here with plastic, man, ruining the environment. I know you throw that thing in your green wastebasket too, which makes me even madder.
If I can get a real tree, Trent, you need to have a real tree.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jordan.
The fake tree is so easy, guys. Like once you do it, you're like, man, why do anything else? It's so easy.
And I know you save money too, but like, come on.
It's not
fake
the
tree,
money.
Fake people.
It's not,
I
it's
should have a fake tree. You should have a
it's-
live tree. It should be reversed.
It's not
100%.
the money. It's just so much easier. You don't have to water it. I'm getting a fake tree next year. Listen to this. I'm getting one of those that has the lights in it, and you can change the colors.
You're getting more diva-ish by the minute. Stop talking.
Dude, you are thank you, Jordan. He is the real, you are the Grinch. I don't care how many lights you put on your house. If you don't have a real tree, what are you doing?
Now he doesn't even want his kids to even decorate the tree. Like, it's like you're depriving them of everything.
Yes, thank Jordan.
Lights,
You are spot on today. You are spot. Don't put up blow up deals in your front of your blow up. What are those things called?
Inflatables.
Those inflatable things, and put up lights on your house if you're not going to get a real Christmas tree.
Phill, here's the deal. Put lights on your house, then I'll respect somewhat what you say. You've never put lights on your house. I don't know if you're afraid of ladders or what it is, but you've never put a light on your house. You don't even change your outside lights to red. Like, do something to the outside of your house, and then I'll listen to you. Take those stupid reindeer antlers off your minivan, and I'll listen to you.
I'm frankly, Trent, I'm sick. I'm sick.
I'm honestly surprised you're here because Russell Wilson got benched today and feels like, hey guys, might not pod today, not feeling good. I don't know if he's actually sick or if he's just so sad that Russell Wilson's not starting for his second favorite team anymore.
Dude, that that is incredibly crazy, isn't it? Like, they're sitting him so he doesn't get hurt, right? But also they're sitting him because they're probably going to get rid of him. Like, do we see him in Minnesota next year when they get rid of Kirk Cousins? Like, where do we see Russ going? I think I see Minnesota as a potential landing spot. I see the Commanders as a potential landing spot. That would be dangerous for you, Trent. I don't think you can stomach Russell Wilson going to the Commanders after they'll whoop up on your boys for 2 games next year. But I just don't know where I see him going next year. It's going to be he's not going to be in Denver, right?
Seattle.
What about his couch at home?
He will not be in Seattle.
Also,
they say he has like the 16 best. He has like the 16 most yards for an NFL quarterback. He's ranked 16 in yards for an NFL quarterback, which is actually not that great because I'm sure they probably account for quarterbacks that have 2 or more games. And there has been a revolving door of quarterbacks throughout the NFL. So I can imagine like that number 16 probably would have been like 24, 25 if all the quarterbacks who were played regularly and weren't all banged up. You know what I'm saying, Jordan?
Yeah, so he'll be on his couch next year.
Well, here's the thing.
The guy's going to get paid $40 million the moment he walks out the door. Like, I don't know what, like, he literally might not play, like, or he's going to wait a long time because no one's going to pay him what he wants. And to be honest, the guy doesn't need to work. Like, he has a rich wife and he's going to walk out the door with a $40 million check. So, like, he doesn't have to work next year. And I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't, or he waits kind of for a good opportunity if someone gets hurt, or because there's not going to be starting jobs open for him next year.
What about New York Giants?
They pay Daniel Jones.
I don't know. Do you think they really want him? I don't know. Like,
I could see that.
Russell Wilson's not good. Like, Russell Wilson's not an upgrade there.
He's thrown more passing TDs than Mahomes this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it's empty stats. Like, watch the guy play.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
this year
Jones.
he's like 6-3 in his last 9 games.
Okay, whatever. I mean, if you watch the film, like, it's not, he's not good.
I think he'll find somewhere to play. I don't know where, but I have a hard time thinking Russell Wilson doesn't play in the NFL somewhere. Like,
I didn't say that. I just don't know if he'll be starting the season on a team. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Like Phill said, the Vikings. I think he's a lateral move at best to Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is better.
Lateral move, but I think the coaching there could put Russ in a good spot. He would have better receivers.
Yeah,
but the other thing with Russ, in my opinion, and Jordan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, he needs a good running back. So if he goes to Minnesota, he might end up being terrible.
Yeah,
or he is terrible.
What about Patriots?
What about the Patriots?
Just
I guess
'cause
if they
Zeke's there.
draft if they draft
I said good
someone,
running back. and then he
Honestly,
throws-
I could see the Patriots like that. I'm just curious how it's all going to shake out, and I don't know why a team like the Patriots, like, wouldn't you just want to rebuild? Like, I don't.
I think so, but maybe he's a guy. I don't know. Other thing is like Jets, but Rodgers is still there, right? Like, I don't know if you wanted
Yeah,
the backup. Like, I
And
can't
I don't
think
know
of
if
where
he takes a backup spot either. Like, I don't
Falcons.
think he's humble enough. Oh, that's actually not a bad. Yeah, they're not off there. I mean, and I mean, let's be honest. Like, he could go to the Panthers and help Bryce Young a little bit.
You think you take a backup role though? I don't know if
he's not
I,
taking a backup role.
No, be the starter there and help
They're
bring
not
up.
going to not play Bryce Young after starting him all this year.
Well, it went pretty bad this year, so I don't know if playing him
he
next year is
he
going to
looked
be
all right last week.
he's probably gonna get a win this week.
One of 15 games. He looked pretty good. All right, we'll take it. All I'm saying is that
They're a rebuilding team, Phil.
all right. I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, he's just not a likable person. Jordan, to your point, like, you have hated on him all this season. The guy was doing air squats last year on his way to Europe. Like, he is an awkward, not likable person, and I don't think Sean Payton likes him. And that's one of the reasons Sean Payton will likely not bring him back next year. Don't you think?
Yeah, I
Doesn't
mean,
it just
he's
come
not
down to
coming back,
likability?
Phil, he's not coming back. They already said that. They're
It's
cutting him.
likability, right? Don't you think? Like, if
Well,
Sean
I think
Payton
it's that. Plus, they just rather just move on and start over.
That's crazy. I can't imagine dropping $64 million into something, waiting 2 years and be like, you know what, I'm just going to scrap this and start over. That seems nuts to me, but yeah,
It's
I get
got
it.
to go down as one of the worst trades ever, right? Like maybe worse than the Herschel Walker trade. Like for what they
It's up
paid,
there.
like the
It's for
money
sure
they
up
paid
there.
for it. Yeah,
And what they gave up.
Yeah, and the salary, and so I don't know. So yeah, I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know if there's anything else. Other weird stuff that's kind of been going around the NFL is Cam Newton going after Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott, and then Deebo Samuel claiming that Cam wants him to go on his podcast, and then Cam saying he never told him. I don't know. Did you see the text of all that, Jordan?
I didn't see it.
Deebo leaked the text. Phil, I sent it to you on Instagram. It's it's very strange. Like the text message that Deebo sent, it's like all like weird writing. Like there's dots over, you know, when you can like type the letter D and there's 2 dots over it, then it's like abbreviated O, and it's like, do you
because
like,
Cam used to post that way on Instagram.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, when Cam was on Instagram initially, he would always
so see,
yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
so that's actually Cam.
You think it is?
Yeah, it's no, so it's Deebo. Who's this? It's Cam. I don't know who this is. Cam Newton. And then he said, no. It's so that's how Cam. I think that's Cam. That's how Cam used to. If you go to Cam's Instagram, that's how he used to like write in his Instagram post. Like it was all like really weird, almost like cryptic text.
And then Deebo took the post down. So I don't know what that means, but like Deebo said, I'm not going on your pod. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going on your pod after you talk trash on my quarterback. So
it would be a bad look if he did, right?
Probably. I think it would. So just a weird deal there. But yeah, it's been a while. It's Jordan, I'm glad you're here. You know, I did beat you in semifinals. It was you gave a valiant effort, but I'm glad you're still here for the pod.
I did not give a valiant effort.
Well, Phil,
I gave a poor effort.
Phil, you know, Seth's had a gender reveal. Phil's sick because Russell Wilson got benched. You know, you've had your back against the wall this whole, Christmas break, and yet you get on the pod anyway. So I appreciate that. You didn't complain. Yeah. You know, Phil's asking for us to record at 3 p.m. It's like, sorry, some of us are still working today, Phil, and Jordan has a basketball game and all kinds of stuff. But thanks. Like, Phil, I'm sorry you've had a bad day, though.
Can I share something that my wife sent me on Facebook?
This better not be like, share with 5 friends.
No, it's like one of those rumors. It's like one of those jokey rumor things. 49ers QB Brock Purdy doesn't have much money to spend on Christmas presents. Christian McCaffrey stepped in and gift giving Christmas season for his QB. And then this guy reposted it. My brother in Christ, you make $870,000 a year. How do you not have Christmas cash?
It's California taxes, San Francisco living, man. Like that's all. He can probably barely afford a rental with that.
Oh, so good.
I saw that, but like, I understand where he's coming from. Do you not
Yeah.
understand?
No, I understand. I just like how he says, "My brother in Christ, you make 870 a
He
year."
for sure could have gave him all like I don't know, like an Xbox, but he's not gonna get him like nice golf clubs or like quads.
I don't know, dude. The guy may be in hard times. He was driving a Harvester on the off week. Like he's
It's
hurting for
true.
cash potentially.
Yeah. Maybe
No,
some
he's not
bad
hurting.
financial, situation.
You
Maybe
never
he's
know. He may have gone too
supporting
deep
his
in
parents' hot tub shop. Like who knows?
potentially. You know, you never know.
But yeah.
We probably should get into these games, huh? Or into
We
sleepers.
should let's get into these week 17 games. Today's episode is brought to you by Trophy Smack. Imagine a trophy so impressive it could snag a shark on Shark Tank. Now picture what it could do for your fantasy football league. At Trophy Smack, where the sky's the limit, they are your ultimate destination for fantasy trophies. Kick off the new year with a trophy that's not just a prize, but a symbol of victory and bragging rights, guys. Head over to trophysmack.com/dudes, 15% off your whole entire order, guys. Customize that whole entire puppy right there. You won't be sorry. Tell them the dudes sent you. Before we get into our week 17 preview and picks, should we get into our sleepers, Phil? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. Also, one more piece of news. I'm in a league. Finals just happened, and my next door neighbor won his finals matchup after a stat correction.
No.
On Tuesday, he was the winner. On Tuesday, he was the loser. On Wednesday, he was the winner. It changed a whole point. And he ended up edging the guy out by like 0.15 or something like that. Absolutely nuts. Crazy. Used to be a fellow podcaster, actually. He ended up winning the league that I was in. Crazy.
So, shout out to Samuel. That's very, and this is the same league that you were like bragging about, week 16 championship. So that's wild, and the stat correction. So
I don't know if I was bragging. I was simply stating the facts that we had our championship in week 16.
Yeah. Making fun of guys, a guy who makes fun of fake Christmas trees, the same guy that's like, hey, I have my championship week 16. How cool is that, guys? So,
I don't think, Jordan, did I say that? I think I said, hey, I have my league championship this week.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Thank you, Jordan.
Basically bragging.
All right, let's get into these sleepers. Since Seth is not here, he has KJ Osborne as his sleeper. I'm not going to go into the details why. I'm sure he probably has a variety of reasons. I think the biggest thing is Jefferson is out, right?
Jefferson's out?
Not Jefferson. I think
Addison.
Addison's out. Addison's out.
Yeah, I think Addison's out, so I think he's one of the main reasons that I'm just going quickly off why I think potentially he has KJ Osborne. I think Addison is in fact out, and so that's why he has KJ Osborne as one of his sleepers. Jordan, you have Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, so keep picking on this Bucks defense here. They can't cover the pass, they give up tons of fantasy points to wide receivers. Shaheed had 9 targets last week, 5 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. All he needs is to break the long one. And I think in this matchup, it's pretty doable. Don't love trusting Derek Carr, but he's shown the propensity to like give deep balls to Shaheed all year. So Shaheed breaks the long one. I think he's a top 30, top 25 wide receiver this week.
All right. I have Greg Dortch as my sleeper of the week. I just keep wanting to pick on this Eagles secondary. I think they're fun to pick on. I could potentially, I think Kyler Murray's going to have to be airing the ball out the whole entire game. So I got Greg Dortch. And even if Marquise Brown plays, I don't mind a flyer on Dortch. So that's my sleeper. So you want to read all those back to us, Phil?
Yeah, no problem. So Trent, you have Greg Dortch. Jordan has Rashid Shaheed, and Seth has KJ Osborne. So let's dive into this, boys. We have our Thursday night football game. We also have some bowls game. You can almost not go a day without football at all over the next couple of days here, which is actually pretty sweet with college football in the mix. We have a Thursday night football matchup: Jets 6-9 versus the 10-5 Browns. Browns are currently favored by 36. Excuse me. This total right now is 36. Browns are currently favored by 7. Jordan, you have a sit in this game.
Yeah, I got Garrett Wilson as a sit here. The Browns give up the third least fantasy points to wide receivers. The Jets are starting Trevor Siemian at quarterback. I have a hard time seeing Garrett Wilson put up a big score here and kill you in this game. He's going to get a ton of targets. I think he had like 16 targets last week or something crazy like that. But I don't think he'll be efficient. And I think like he played the Commanders last week. That's a totally different matchup than the Browns. I don't think the Browns let Garrett Wilson beat them. I think they forced Trevor Siemian to throw to other people. I can see Breece Hall having a decent game here just because he might get a ton of dump offs. But yeah, I don't think Garrett Wilson beats you in this matchup. I think you probably sit him this week. Even if you're in the championship, I think you sit Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, and just, reflecting on our starts and sits, last week was our very best starts and sits matchup. We didn't have a pod on Monday due to Christmas, and we're going to take off on New Year's as well. I don't think that many of you are going to be listening to podcasts on New Year's Day, but we will be back next Thursday. But last week, starts and sits, we went 88%, guys. I had Amari Cooper, Jordan had Calvin Ridley, and Seth had T. Higgins. So three, just absolute hammer starts right there. Sits, I had Cards wide receivers. Jordan had Devin A-Chain, and Seth had Javonte Williams. Sleepers, I had Demarcus Robinson. Jordan had Jalen Warren, which was our only miss, and then Seth had David Njoku. So just, tooting our own horn there a little bit, Phil. Is that okay to toot our own horn sometimes?
Unmute yourself.
Sorry, I was coughing. I said toot it.
All right, toot it and boot it. What about Flacco? I know it's not a great matchup. The Jets just don't have that much they're playing for, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good point. Good point. Yeah, I think Flacco's fine. I think Cooper's fine. I think Jerome Ford's okay. Don't love it, but I don't like any Jets. I think Breece Hall's fine just because you might get 10 catches for 70 yards here. So, but
Jordan, Fantasy Dad asked me, he brought up Jerome Ford. He's in the championship also in his league. He has Tony Pollard or Jerome Ford. Who would you rather play? Pollard is playing the Lions and Jerome Ford's playing the Jets.
Ford.
Okay.
This is a revenge game. I think you said that already, though, right?
For Ford?
Flacco.
Oh, it is a Flacco revenge game. Phil, very good. Yes.
This is a revenge game, bro.
Yes.
You said you weren't sure about Flacco. This is a revenge game, my guys.
On Thursday Night Football, Flacco is averaging 351 passing yards per game, 3-game win streak, playing pretty good. I think you got to play Amari Cooper again, even though he's going, Sauce Gardner. Like for what Amari Cooper did last week, I think it'd be just rude to not put him in your lineup again. Yeah, what was it? Sayla said he's like a Ford pickup truck. Flacco just keeps going, or whatever it was he said.
He said in the winter, you're glad you have it or something like that. Which,
yeah. Flacco also said they never gave him a call. I think he offered to go over there and play for him, and now he's just balling out for the Browns.
Imagine if he was backing up Aaron Rodgers, they probably would be in a much better spot this year.
I think so. I don't know how you maybe keep all three of those guys on. Man, there's 2 flies in here, and I haven't been able to get them out for like 2 weeks. It's driving me crazy.
That's what
it's
happens
almost like
when
you don't have a fly swatter.
Yeah,
I don't have a fly swatter out here. It's true.
Yeah,
I need to get
one
out
of
here.
those things that the flies stick to, like
a fly. Yeah, I don't know. I just figured they'd be gone by now, but and just like that, I lost my train of thought. That's almost as bad as Seth's blinker he has going. Breece Hall,
for the fly update, by the way.
Yeah, well, it landed right on my nose.
We've talked way too much about this game, Trent. This game should have took 2 minutes.
Who you're playing? Flacco, Jerome Ford, Amari Cooper, Njoku. No one on the Jets side.
Breece
Hall. Okay, Jordan had to sit there. I'm going to say Browns win this game.
I got
Browns.
Browns.
Seth has entered the chat.
Browns.
Seth is here. I'm gonna plug Seth up here right now. Better late than ever.
Late than never is the.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, what's up, dude?
What's Seth?
Just got back from a family Christmas party. Hope you guys didn't do too much without me.
Trent said it was your own gender reveal.
Oh yeah, that too. So I just found out myself actually. So
a boy,
yep.
Boy or girl?
He's an elf.
Boy, elf.
Yeah, you have to check out my ears. Actually, they're kind of cool now.
I told you he had elfish features, Phill, just like that.
Yeah, Seth, that's
Yeah,
a cool hat. I like that
imagine
hat.
me like an elf from Lord of the Rings. Just beautiful, majestic, kind of like that.
I'll take.
Do we all have
honestly,
Cleveland?
yeah.
Do we all have Cleveland here?
Seth, we're in game 1. Do you take Cleveland?
Who are they playing?
The Jets.
Sure, I'll take Cleveland. Yes.
Let's
go.
Cleveland.
He was joking about that, by the way. He's done a ton of research on this week's slate. He knows that they were playing.
No, I
Trent,
just didn't
you
know
want
what
to give
I
you
just know
the
they're playing.
results from last week?
Give us the results. I think these were ugly.
So I went, or Trent, you were last at 8-8. Seth and I both went 9-7, and the big winner is Phill at 10-6. So it brings the total on the year is I'm at 5, Trent and Seth are at 4, and Phill is at 3.
And where's Seth? Oh, you said Trent and Seth are at 3.
Yeah.
And you're at 4, Jordan?
5. You guys are both at 4, and Phil's at 3.
Dang.
You're at 4, Trent.
So Phill could tie for second, and me and Seth could tie for first.
No, I mean, technically, we have 2 more weeks, Trent.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Phill could tie for first.
I keep forgetting about that. No, I feel like this is the last week of fantasy football. We'll keep going just, for you weirdos that are in, week 18 championships.
Or there's always other ways. You got betting.
The
you
week
got
18 one could be weird depending on who's playing too.
We got the NCAA games.
Yeah,
it's always tough to talk about.
All right. Moving on here, we have a Saturday game. We'll go quick on this one. The 11-4 Lions versus the 10-5 Cowboys. Current total right now is 53.5. Dallas, shockingly, even coming off that loss, is favored by 6. Let's jump into this one. No starts or sits in this game. I think you're likely just dialing up all your boys, with the exception of Pollard if you have Ford. But let's talk about this one.
It's a bad matchup.
Game. Yeah, so it's such a good game.
I would say it's a bad matchup for Pollard, but it's a really, really good spot for Dak and CD and Brandon Cooks, Ferguson. The Lions they can't cover the pass. So I think Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Laporta are all in play. I think Gibbs and Montgomery look pretty good. I feel like the Dallas rush defense has kind of gotten worse as the years gone on.
Cowboys have allowed 3 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving TDs to running backs in their last 4 games. The first 5, they had only allowed 1. After 5, I'm saying that part 1, that wrong. But the last 3, they've really not looked good. So it's fallen apart there against the run. But hopefully they can get it locked in here for playoffs. I could see Montgomery scoring a TD in this game. And this could be a fun game. The only Saturday game. Weird, we only have one Saturday game. We have no Monday night game this week
because of the college football playoff.
College football playoff.
Yeah. So no Sunday game.
We got
no Monday game. Yeah.
We got 14 games on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Red zone is going to be lit.
Yeah,
it is going to be. Yeah, this is.
But it's like 10 games in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Like,
why? I hate that they do that because, I'm looking at my matchup. My fantasy matchup championship will be decided by 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
everyone's likely playing in the morning.
Everyone's playing in the morning. A guy I'm playing against has 1 guy playing at 1 o'clock. So I'm thinking of starting the Chiefs defense because I believe they play in the afternoon because I'm either playing the Bears defense or the Chiefs defense. I'm tempted to just play the Chiefs defense just to have something later in the day, but I know that's a silly reason to do it, but I hate all the 10 a.m. games only.
That is dumb. So what do we and it's probably because a lot of people, the viewership goes down significantly on New Year's Eve, right? People are out doing stuff, going out, like the viewership's just going to go down. Anyhow, all right. I think we talked about this Lions Cowboys game a little bit. I'm taking the Lions.
I'm going Dallas. Dallas is on a roll at home. I know they've been playing sloppy, but they're a totally different team at home. And so I'm going to go Dallas with this game.
Well, since whenever Trent picks against the Lions, he's wrong. I'm going to go with the Lions.
Other thing, this is the first time. So I was talking to Steve, fellow friend of the pod. He said the last time the Lions won the division, he was 7 years old. And now he has a son that's 7 years old, and he's hoping this is not a pattern that's reoccurring in his life.
That is hilarious. And also awesome.
It's been a long time. This is the first time in 70 years that the Browns and the Lions both have over 10 wins at the same time. So just a crazy season. Browns Lions Super Bowl, that'd be a dream come true for Phill, I'm sure. Now that
absolutely.
First 15 minutes, Seth, we just talked about Phill, being counseled about Russell Wilson not, being benched and his career possibly being over. So you missed all that as a Seahawks fan also. Would you like to weigh in on that?
I mean, I'm glad we got rid of him, got something out of him, I guess. But I mean, I saw something interesting though. Like his stats are basically the same as Patrick Mahomes. Kind of interesting.
It's true.
He doesn't throw as good as sidearms, though. That's one of the main problems.
And he can't dive and throw the ball away either, Seth. So there's that.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I'm not saying stats say anything, as Jordan was called a casual over, but
casual.
Yeah, stats don't say everything. Yeah, but still, I just thought that was interesting. So
let's just shorten it, call him Kaji. Let's call Jordan Kaji from now on. Are you okay with that, Jordan?
Honestly,
what's the next game we have?
It's probably better than Jordo.
In Setherton. All right. The next game we have is Dolphins 11-4, Ravens 12-3. Current total right now is 47. Baltimore currently favored by 4 at home. No starts or sits in this game, but let's dive in this one.
It should be a good game here, right? Like I know the Dolphins aren't as good on the road either. They're kind of like Dallas where they're a lot better at home. But the Ravens are coming off a really big win. People are putting Lamar Jackson in the MVP conversation. Now, did he surpass Purdy, Jordan?
I'll look
in the odds. I believe that he possibly did surpass Purdy. So just a bad football week for Phill in general.
Yeah, it's Lamar minus 170, CMC plus 400, Tua plus 10-1, Brock Purdy 12-1. That's crazy because the last time we looked at this, Brock Purdy was a minus 200 favorite. That is insane.
Yeah. You probably
one bad game.
I think if I were to bet on MVP odds, it would be CMC. I think he's been the most steady because
no. What happens if the Dolphins win tomorrow or this week?
And it goes Tua.
Does Tua does it not go Tua like at 10-1?
Yeah. It's not gonna. I think CMC is a better shot than Tyreek. What, Seth?
It's so unpredictable. And it should be CMC. Everyone knows it, but it's unpredictable who's going to win MVP.
Yeah.
I think you can lock in CMC's offensive player of the year, though. I think you can.
You could probably lock that in.
He's minus 225. So it's basically a two-way race between him and Tyreek.
Yeah.
This game,
just play the studs, Trent. Tyreek, Zay Jones, not Zay Jones, Zay Flowers, Zay Likely. I think Waddle's probably going to miss this game, so maybe you could. There's just no reason. You're not playing anybody else in the championship. Maybe there's some value there, like a Cedric Wilson for like a DFS or something.
A-Chain.
I'm not playing. A-Chain looks hurt. Trent.
I know, but his percentage goes way up on touches when Waddle or Tyreek Hill are out of the game. So the only reason I might be tempted, I played A-Chan the last 4 weeks. Like it's been brutal. Like, it's if Waddle doesn't suit up. It's weird though, because I watched that whole Cowboys and Dolphins game. A-Chan was in the game a lot and just didn't get the ball. Like it was really weird. Yeah. And it depends what happens with Mostert too. Is Mostert playing for sure? Do we know?
I would imagine he plays. He came back in that game last week, Trent.
Yeah, he did, but he just didn't see the field that much. I thought I saw an injury update after the game or something about it. But anyways,
I think who I like
practice today.
I like Justice Hill in this game, Trent.
Really? More than Gus Edwards?
Yes.
Okay. Because Gus is still like the goal line guy there. They've tried really hard.
Yeah, but Justice Hill was on the field way more and he has so much more like PPR upside if you're in a PPR league. He's passing up. He's a passing back.
So I have other note, Isaiah Likely, tight end 5, averaging in fantasy points per game for tight end at 11.4. That's a guy you're probably still playing in there. Maybe if you want to get cute with a deep flyer with like Odell Beckham Jr. I don't know. I feel like this is mostly like a Lamar game, and we'll see how the Ravens defense does against Tyreek Hill. This game will be fun to watch because they bottled up the 49ers. They're coming off a 4 pit. They had Purdy turn the ball over 4 times last week, so we'll see how they do versus Tua. So Ravens defense flies around. I don't know if there's anything you want to say on this.
I'm saying Ravens.
What's everyone else going with here?
I am gonna go Miami.
Miami on the road. I think I'm gonna go with the home team and just go with the Ravens.
I'm gonna go the Ravens too.
So Jordan can gain one on us right here.
There's nothing wrong with the only one on Miami. The NFL has been so weird this year.
It has.
Wouldn't be shocked to see Miami win.
Well, and even like talking about MVP odds like we did, I saw a thing that said in 2012, 5 QBs had more passing yards than what Brock Purdy has right now. So it just shows you how bad like the QB play
What was it? What was it, Trent? What was the stat again?
I believe 5 QBs had thrown for over 5,000 yards, and we don't have any this year.
So funny, Trent, because I literally was just having this conversation with one of my basketball players on the car ride to our game about how like quarterback play was so much worse than it was 5 years ago. And he was like shocked that I said that. And I was like, no, like it's for
it
sure.
Also shows that how much he was like in junior high last time. He like that.
Yeah, but it's also like, the quarterback play is horrible right now. It's so bad.
Well, even we're talking last year. Like I remember saying last year, like how many good QBs are there? And we're like 5. Like how many we say how many good QBs are there this year? I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go back? We had this talk a lot last offseason. Are you willing to revert back to like, hey, I'm going to take a late round quarterback? Are you going to go back to that? Or is it like,
I don't think so.
Or is it like, if at the turn, I'm taking a QB, like at the turn, like I don't know what Lamar is. I had Lamar as my QB1 in the offseason. We got an award show coming up, guys, and then we're going to recheck everything, all our rankings we had this offseason. I'm curious to see what Lamar was. I had him at 1. Everyone said I was really high on him.
Yeah. Jordan had him at 5 and Seth had him at 5.
Okay. So like, I was just wondering with all that, we can check that another time, but yeah, the quarterback play has been really bad. And I don't even know, like Lamar, the rushing upside hasn't been like.
He's number 4 right now.
Okay. I just hope Lamar doesn't trip over the ref again.
That was so bad.
It was so bad. So we got those picks, and we can hop into the next one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's move into the next one here. All right. The next game we have is Cardinals 3-12 versus the Eagles 11-4. The current point total is 48, and Philadelphia is favored by 10.5 at home.
My favorite guy in this game is DeAndre Swift. I think it's an absolute like DeAndre Swift smash spot. I think the Cardinals give up like the most fancy points to running backs this year. So I think it's a really good DeAndre Swift spot. Obviously, you're playing AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, all those guys, but I just really like DeAndre Swift this week. So probably want to be one of my highest owned running backs. I know it's early in the week for DFS this week, though.
Yeah, 8 running backs have rushed for 100 yards versus Cardinals defense this year. So yeah, fire up Swift. Hopefully he doesn't stop at the 1 yard line, because even Jason Kelsey joked about it on his pod today or this week. He said he just laughs every time DeAndre Swift gets tackled on the 1 yard line and says, hey, you know what's coming up next, right, buddy? So it just goes straight, Philly special, tush push, brotherly shove. I sent you guys that meme today, and it was a picture of LaDainian Tomlinson, and it says what DeAndre Swift would be if the field was only 99 yards long. But yeah, so hopefully I don't hate that at all, though, Jordan. I think this is the perfect matchup. Hopefully it doesn't like go to like some rando like Boston Scott or something over there. But I think it's a good spot. Anyone else in here? You're starting your AJ Brown.
Starting everybody on the Eagles side.
Everyone Eagles side, maybe Kyler Murray if you have to.
James Conner, I think, is okay. At least the receiving part. Eagles have been susceptible to receiving running backs, so I think that's fine. Honestly, anyone else on the Cardinals, I'm not too excited about.
McBride.
Really, it's a
McBride.
good spot against the Eagles defense, but the Cardinals are bad. So
Yeah. I had Dortch as my sleeper, Seth. Just a wide
Okay.
receiver to pick
Yeah,
on
that's
him
probably
with,
fine.
but don't know. We don't know if Marquise Hollywood Brown is playing either. I'm going to say Eagles win this game.
Eagles.
Phil, you were a big
Eagles.
you loved birds as a kid, Phil. Like I know you had like a bird cage in your house and
Pigeons.
stuff like that. So
He
now
also had a
this
book too.
this is like a all bird game. So I'm sure you'll be like all tuned in on it. And now you're a Seahawks fan, so the circle of life.
Yep. I mean, I don't know where that story was going, but yes, I'm going for the Eagles.
Okay, sorry about that.
Is that from a movie, Trent?
I watched Home Alone the other night, and that lady feeding the birds reminded me of you as a kid with your bird cage.
I gotta watch that movie again. I gotta watch that movie. I haven't seen it in probably 5 years.
Four Christmases. I watched Four Christmases for the first time. That was pretty good. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I recommend that one. There was some good laughs in that. Vince Vaughn.
You smoked some ribs this weekend too, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll let Seth say if they were any good. I brought them to the family Christmas. Seth,
They're
rate
really
'em.
good.
They're really good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
All right. Good job.
The first
there, buddy.
meat that was gone completely. I went back for more and they were gone.
Yeah, meat sweats, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right, moving on here. The next game that we have is the 11-4 49ers versus the 4-11 Commanders. Current total right now is 48. San Francisco is currently favored by 13.5. We have actually two starts in this game. So let's jump into this one.
All right. So this is a smash spot for CMC, but that is not my start of the week. If your situation is a bit too hairy, for those who quake at the thought of playing Terry, may also find online undies too extraordinary. Manscaped's here, no need to be wary. In a flurry of buzz and suds, they will appear to sweep away every groin fear. With the trim awash, let's be sincere, from desk to mirror, Manscaped's here. To bring the cheer for 20% off, enter promo code DUDES20 for 20% off all your men's hygiene needs, guys. Head over to Manscaped, promo code DUDES20, 20% off, guys. And with that being said, I am playing Terry McLaurin. I think this is a good situation, maybe not a great situation. I'm excited about Jacoby Brissett. I think there could be some garbage time touchdowns here. They're going to have to keep throwing the ball the whole time. You got a QB that's, kind of playing for next year, playing for his job. And what he's done with Terry, the last 2 weeks, I know last week wasn't great, but 2 weeks ago, he really threw it up to him and Terry just made some plays. I'm hoping he can just give him some volume. Terry McLaurin's my start of the week, and I might be willing this one into place, but I think they're going to be throwing the whole entire game. Jordan, thoughts?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think one of those guys gets there. Samuel, McLaurin, Dotson. Someone's getting there. So I don't think it's bad. I don't know. Terry McLaurin's been not good, but I get what you're saying. So I don't mind. They're good.
Yeah.
One of those guys is going to get there. I just think you flip a coin and it's like who I have zero idea who it's going to be.
If it was Sam Howell, I don't think I would make him my start of the week. I just saw what he did with Jacoby 2 weeks ago. So that's
but Curtis Samuel also played really well with Jacoby last week.
That's true.
So I just don't I don't know who it's going to be. So it's like it's one of the three. Like one of the three is going to get there. Maybe two of the three. I don't really know though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's averaging 12.4 yards per completion, and I think at the very least we get some garbage time out of this. Phil, what did you think of my little poem I wrote there for Scary Terry McLaurin?
I was getting a glass of water. I'm sorry, I didn't get to hear. Let me hear it again.
I'm not saying it again. Seth, was it good?
Yeah, it was good, Trent.
Oh,
Seth,
I'll take Seth's word for it.
You're gonna have to go back.
I have no need to be wary.
No need to be wary, even if it's scary.
Start Terry.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I'll go with my start. So my start this week is Brandon Ayuk. So Ayuk had a good game last week. I think that's going to carry in this week. Obviously, we've been targeting like the Commanders' pass defense all year. They've been just getting torn apart in the past, except for last week, which is the Jets wide receivers. But we all know like the Jets offense has been pretty bad for the most part the whole year. But in the last 3 games, they've given up over 40 fantasy points, even more in full PPR to wide receivers. So I think like It's going to be a good game for Ayuk. It's going to be a good game for Debo, but I think that it's going to lean more Ayuk here. I think Purdy tends to find Ayuk over the middle more, whereas Samuel is a little more of the deep threat when they're both going to have a really good game. So I think you're going to expect like a big Ayuk performance this week. So if you're starting him in the fantasy football playoffs or a championship game, rather, you should feel real confident in Ayuk to give you. I really think he's going to score 15 points or more this week, probably around 20. Probably guaranteed a touchdown catch this week. The Commanders are bad unless the 49ers just run the ball and just take it to down that way, but I don't see that happening. I see it happening more in the air first and then on the ground. So
one thing I did not factor in is this is a Chase Young revenge game. So maybe that makes, Jacoby play a little worse. Maybe he knows they're going to have to change up the audibles, no Omaha calls, no Badger, Tango, all that stuff there. So maybe it's just a little bit different. Maybe he throws him off a little bit. Jordan, your thoughts on this game?
Love Purdy. Love all the receivers. Niners smash spot through the air. Great. Like I said, Brock Purdy bounce back. And then, one of the receivers is going to get there for the Washington side. I just don't know who.
All right. I'm going to go 49ers win this game. Anyone going Commanders?
Nope. San Francisco.
Nope. Niners. All right. Moving on here. We have the 8-7 Bengals versus the 9-6 Chiefs. Current total right now is 44.5, and KC is favored by 7. No starts or sits in this game. I think we have a little bit of TFF dad action here coming up, right, Trent?
No TFF dad action, but go check him out on Twitter at TFF dad. He's prepping for the championship game. He'll have his starts and sits out there on Saturday. So tweet at him, all that good stuff.
I just want to bring him up because we miss him.
I miss him. Yeah. And you can go listen to that Christmas award show we did. That was a fun one. So go check that out as well. Chiefs, Jordan, how are you doing? Like, how's your, we made fun of Phill because Russell Wilson's getting benched, but like the Chiefs, man, I know you're like, that's kind of your back pocket team. You're a Mahomes guy. Are you hating Taylor Swift more now? Like, how are you?
They're not good.
Yeah. They've just lost to the Raiders, a team that didn't complete a pass after the first quarter.
I mean, I don't know. Like, they're not good. So I don't know. But also would it shock you if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl this year? Still probably wouldn't shock me, but I don't know.
Yeah, they have to pull a lot of stuff together. They have to shake it off.
So I don't know. I still think the Mahomes is super he's still really good. It's just he isn't playing that great, and I think their O-line is the biggest issue right now with that team.
I put a thing out on Twitter, and I know we want to talk about the Bengals-Chiefs game, but I said, what does Mahomes miss more, Bieniemy or Tyreek Hill? And you had passionate – what do you think?
Bieniemy.
Yeah, you had passionate fans from both sides saying their case, Tyreek or Bieniemy. So it'll be interesting to see where Bieniemy goes next year. But yeah, you could be – one guy said Bieniemy doesn't catch passes. Probably needs a little bit. And Kelsey's not what he was either.
Well, I think they miss wasn't their line the alignment that's the tackle that's on the Bengals now? Didn't he play for the Chiefs last year?
Maybe
I think that was 2 years ago, but yes.
Because the Chiefs O-line is not good. That's the biggest issue with them right now.
Yeah. What is your thoughts if Pacheco's out, you firing up Clyde? The Bengals have been getting gashed by running backs.
Hey, is Pacheco not playing? What's the deal there? Do we know?
I haven't heard exactly. If Pacheco does play, I don't know if you really want to play Clyde. As of right now, I think it's kind of up in the air. I guess if Pacheco plays, it's more of a dice roll playing Clyde Edwards.
Pacheco, I feel like if that guy's in, he's in. It's concussion.
Yeah, it won't be Clyde. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like one of the Chiefs running backs, whoever starts.
I've been picking
Rice is awesome. Rice is awesome. So play Rice.
I've been picking on this Bengals defense the last couple of weeks as my start of the week, just going with whoever's the running back is they're playing against.
Yeah.
And it's been going good. Only 3 running backs have failed to score 12 plus fantasy points, which I say every week, which was Kyron Williams, James Cook, and Zach Moss. And Zach Moss had a rushing touchdown called back in that game. So really good spot there. Bengals side, T. Higgins? What are we thinking here?
T. That's it. That's it for me. Just T.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
Browning, Jordan? I had another guy send in, 2 QB league championship. Russell Wilson just got benched. Quarterback, his second quarterback, he can play Nick Mullins, Geno Smith, Jake Browning, or Easton Stick, Derek Carr, Joe Flacco. I said Mullins.
Flacco.
You go
Yeah, I
Flacco
think
versus the
Flacco.
Jets.
Yeah.
Revenge game.
Got to go with the revenge game.
All right. I think anything else though about this game? I think we kind of close the loop out on it, huh?
I'm going.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
I got Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Chiefs. Yeah, at home.
Chiefs have to bounce back, right? Like they have to. Like
Can I take the spread?
No.
the Chiefs are. They need a win. They need a win desperately bad. But Bengals are playing. Are the Chiefs even like? They're in first in the AFC West, but they haven't clinched or anything. Like,
No.
can the Broncos still win the AFC West? Or are they out? I can't remember
They
what
have
the
a
record is.
6% chance of making playoffs.
Okay.
I am going. Oh man, I want to say Bengals.
I want to. I'm trying to choose with my brain, not my heart.
I have to go wild. I have to go wild because I have to
You
come
do.
back here. I'm going
That's
Bengals.
true.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Wild is what's
Let's go
got
take
you
some
where you are,
risks.
Phil. Yeah.
Yes.
Take a risk, make a change, and
Young,
break
wild,
away.
and free. All right, moving on here. We have the 7-8 Raiders versus the 8-7 Colts. Current total right now is 44. Indianapolis with is currently favored by 3.
Do we know if Jonathan Taylor or Josh Jacobs are playing in this game? That's the kind of the where we're at right now. We don't really know on those two guys. It is Wednesday night.
Jacobs did not practice. And what do you ask about Jonathan Taylor?
We don't know for sure if he's playing yet either.
He has
I haven't seen anything
no
if he's
injury
practicing.
designation. Why
Okay.
did you?
Yeah.
Didn't he
I
have
just
surgery on his hand or something?
hasn't he not played in 2 weeks?
Jonathan Taylor played last week, Trent.
He played last
Did he
week,
finally
Trent.
play? Okay, sorry. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
he
So
had
if
he had an okay game.
Okay.
yeah, you're playing Taylor, and then if Zamir White, if Jacobs is out, that's it. I don't like this game at all, really.
Yeah, expect even like Devontae Adams. Like I don't know if you want to play
He
him.
probably
after-
didn't make it to the championship with Devontae Adams, anyways. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, you can play Devontae, but I just don't like this game very much.
you got to give that coaching job to Pierce, right, Phil? Don't you just love that guy?
The Raiders fan base loves him, but guaranteed they don't give it to him.
You really think guaranteed?
I don't think they do. They always think, what is the best possible decision I can make? And then do the exact opposite of that.
Looking at Mark Davis's haircut, I think you're probably spot on with that take.
Yeah. They're they're going to make the wrong decision, right? As an outsider looking in. It pains Raiders fans, but I think that's also what keeps them sticking around,
Yeah. Oh, Raiders fans basically won the Super Bowl
Glutton
this
for
past week.
punishment.
They were so happy.
Oh yeah, that was their Super Bowl. That was their
Basically.
Super Bowl.
Watch that game on Nickelodeon. It wasn't bad. All the slime and everything. They picked Andy Reid up with the claw and were moving him around. Seth, you probably watched on Nickelodeon.
I didn't know, but that's funny.
I'm going to go Colts win this game. Colts are playing good ball right now. Like
Yeah, I'm going
Trent,
Colts too.
Trent, did you watch the game? Like they lost by 20 to the Steelers last
sorry,
week.
I did. I missed that one. That was on Saturday, right? That was the day before Thanksgiving or before Christmas. Sorry. They were pretty hot going into that game.
Yeah, it was the 23rd.
Sorry. Yeah, I did watch that one, but yeah. Before that, they were playing pretty good football with a chance to make playoffs in the AFC South hunt. So sorry about that. I did not watch that game. I caught the highlights. So yeah, thank you for reminding me that. But I am still going to go with the Colts.
Yeah,
Okay.
even
I got Raiders.
I don't think the Raiders. They only won last week because of bad offensive play by the Chiefs. The Raiders offense looked terrible after the first quarter, so I don't have any hope that they can replicate anything, so I'm gonna go Colts.
I'm going Colts.
All right. What do we got next, Phil?
Yep. Next game that we have here is the 4-11 Patriots versus the 9-6 Bills. Current total right now is 41, and Buffalo is currently favored by 12. No starts, no sits in this game.
Don't you feel like this is a pretty big spread, Jordan? Like Buffalo's playing well, but I feel like they've hardly gone over the over lately in the game they've played. And New England's actually like defense is plays pretty well. I feel like they could win by 12, and maybe it's just a low scoring game. I don't know. The defense is pretty good. Division rivalry. I don't know. What like James Cook hopefully bounces back this week if you have James Cook. I don't love the matchup for James Cook.
Yeah, like I said, I like Cook. I like Allen. I think Diggs is just okay. I don't really like Diggs. And you like Zeke. I think Demario Douglas is fine, like a PPR league. But
if Hunter Henry, I like Hunter Henry if he's out there. Like he's caught a couple TD passes the last couple of games. I think you can fire up Hunter Henry. And I don't know this game. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to pick them, watch them, and win them at underdog. It's simple, fast, and fun. Get 5 picks right and 20 times your money today. It's that simple, guys. Promo code DUDES. They'll match you up to $500. Download the Underdog app or go to underdogfantasy.com. Promo code DUDES, guys. They got all kinds of fun stuff over there at Underdog. Your best ball stuff, best place for best ball and all that fantasy football fun, fantasy sports fun. Really, I think if Ramondre plays, Jordan, does this just muddy up the situation? Like Zeke looks
he's on injury reserve.
He's for sure injury reserve. Okay.
Yeah, they put him on injury reserve today.
Well, that helps.
You think?
I think Cowboys beat the Dolphins if Zeke was on their team. We got Tony Pollard getting tackled on the 1-yard line while Zeke's out there hurdling people. Like it's hard to see as a Cowboys fan. The guy looks better. He doesn't look as fast as what he was, but he looks better than what he was last year. I think you can play.
Yeah,
Zeke,
just play Zeke.
Volume play.
Yeah.
Does Belichick still have Allen's number, Trent?
I don't think so. Like I think the Bills have too much to lose right now. The Patriots are playing good ball though. Like they're playing tough. They're a gritty team. They're not, I don't see this Patriots team losing by 12. Does anyone disagree with that?
I could see them losing by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I could too.
I hope you're right. It's a guy with Josh Allen and James Cook, but Bills just barely beat the Chargers.
24-10 Bills. That could be
right.
your winning score right there.
Seth, what are you saying?
I'm going Bills for sure.
Okay, I'm going Bills win.
Bills.
I think you might be right though, Trent. I think it could be closer than what the spread is saying.
All right. What do we got next, Phil?
And just for what it's worth, Trent, Colts currently sit in the final playoff spot. If they win, they have like a 56% chance of going in.
That's why I was saying I thought they were playing good ball, but I did not watch the Christmas Eve Colts game.
Yeah, if they win, there's a 69% chance that they're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think
I was just getting your back.
It was the
Phil.
Falcons.
Appreciate
They lost to the Falcons by 20. Sorry, I think I said Steelers.
Okay.
It was Falcons.
But George Pickens went off on him.
No, that was the different game.
Sorry, I did miss that.
No,
game.
it's my fault. I confused you. It was they lost to the Falcons by 20.
You're right. Yeah, and the Falcons did beat it. Yeah,
and Minshew looked awful in that game.
Minshew bounced back. Yeah. So I think we all went Bill. We're all going Bills here, right?
We're all going Bills.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on here. We have the 5-10 Titans versus the 8-7 Texans. Current total right now is 42.5, and Houston currently favored by 3.5 at home. This is a big game for you, Jordy.
Why?
You just need another Houston loss. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Stroud plays this week, and it's a pretty good Stroud, Nico Collins spot. If you think Stroud can be himself coming off the couple weeks off. But, yeah, I think Nico's good if Stroud is in. If not, I don't know if I really like it, but pretty Titans secondary isn't anything not that really good, not that good. So and then I think I like Spears more than Henry.
I've
But
missed CJ Stroud. I've missed him. I hope he comes back. It's a good spot for Brown and Collins if he plays. And maybe even Schultz.
yeah,
It should be
No.
all those guys. What are Spears is a deep flyer. Like I don't mind that, Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
just because if you think they're playing from behind, he's going to be the guy. If you think they're winning, then it's going to be Henry.
Is Levis back? Do we know? Have we heard anything like about that?
I don't know.
Might be interesting to see those two guys slinging it. Maybe not interesting is probably the wrong word. I'm going Texans win this game. Anyone going Titans? This guy's just
Levis full participant in practice, so I assume Levis starts.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Houston.
I got Houston. We all take Houston?
Yes,
Yeah.
all the way across the board.
All right, we have the 8-7 Rams versus the 5-10 Giants. Current total right now is 42. LA is currently favored by 6. No starts, no sits in this game. We did talk about the Giants a little bit earlier today, potentially a landing spot for Russ Wilson. Outside of that, what are we thinking here, guys? Rams, we talked about them last week, starting to peak at the right time for the most part. What do we think here?
It's a good Kyron Williams Puka spot, right? Actually, Giants have been sneaky good against the run, right? I think they've only allowed like a handful of 100-yard rushers this year, which that stat still doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I said that on last week's pod. I can't remember what it was I had exactly. Demarcus Robinson has caught a TD in 4 straight games. I don't know if he brings that up to 5. I think only 5 receivers have done that this season. Could this be the end of the streak? I'm not sure. Cooper Kupp did not look good on Thursday Night Football. Puka looks really good. I think Rams side, you're playing probably Cooper Kupp, Puka, and Kyron Williams. If you need a deep flyer, I don't hate Demarcus Robinson. Like I said, 4 TD streak. Maybe that comes to an end, but seems like Stafford likes him. Cooper Kupp dropped 2 TD passes last game. I don't see Stafford quitting going to him, but I don't mind any of those Rams pass catchers.
I think this seems like an off-season question, but like, what are you guys doing with Cooper Kupp next year? And like, what are you doing with Puka? Like, is Puka being drafted before Kupp next year?
I think so.
Like, when is he getting drafted? When is Nakua getting drafted?
I think
Like,
Nakua is going
second
4th
round?
third,
4th
second
round?
through 5th, probably somewhere in
I
there. It's
mean-
hard to say right now with like.
if
trades
Nakua
and stuff.
puts up even like a three quarters of the season that Kupp put up his insane year, like I think he's a 2nd round draft pick. You know what I mean?
Puka, he probably will go 2nd.
Yeah, like if you get him in the 4th round, like you got an absolute steal, right? Like I mean, that means you could have Kupp and Nakua on your team, like they're both same teams.
It depends how many guys go like 0 RB still. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like guys are going to? Do you think guys swing back to RB heavy after this year?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I just think, just interesting question because I'm like Nakua obviously seems like next year he's going to be taking another step towards being the top target there, and I'm just curious. Like it's possible Kupp doesn't get hurt next year and just does everything like he did, and Nakua finds the back seat, but it's just interesting dynamic when they're both healthy.
It's also possible Kupp doesn't play for the Rams next year.
Yeah, you're
Did you
right.
see Sean McVay just trading him? Like he kind of it seems like
You think he would, Trent?
I don't know. I didn't think they'd trade Goff. Like Goff wasn't a world beater by any means, but he had taken him to the Super Bowl.
McVay hated Goff.
Still took him to a Super Bowl though.
But McVay absolutely hated Goff. He doesn't feel the same way.
They let Gurley go early. Maybe they hung on to Gurley a year too long. But I feel like McVay's they let go Robert Woods. Like I feel like McVay's one of those guys that he kind of gets rid of guys a little sooner maybe than other guys. But Kupp unless Kupp wants to take like a pay cut or something, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. we'll have plenty of off season to talk about all that.
I'm going Rams
Yep.
for this game.
I'm going Rams.
Rams.
Only 4 running backs since week 3 have scored double-digit runs against the Rams. So you're probably playing Barkley, but not a super great spot for him either.
All
Phil.
right. We have the 7-8 Falcons versus the 6-9 Bears. The current total right now is 38. Chicago is currently favored by 3 with a 1% chance of getting to the playoffs with a win, while the Falcons have a 17% chance of making the playoffs with a win. No starts, no sits in this game. Very little playoff implications on the line here, but thought I would mention that nonetheless.
Kyle Pitts, if with Heineke there, looks a little bit better. You probably aren't in playoffs if you have Kyle Pitts, and you might not be in playoffs if you have Bijan Robinson either. Bears side, probably a good spot for Justin Fields. It's always a good spot for Justin Fields. I actually don't like this spot for Bijan Robinson. Like the Bears are good.
It's not a good spot for either team, Trent. The Falcons
Yeah.
play really, really slow, limit possessions for their team. I don't know. I don't really like anyone in this game. I think that total is pretty spot on. Might go under that total if I'm being honest. So
If
probably
Foreman
not the greatest weather maybe in Chicago, but
True.
I don't like this game at all. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable playing anyone in this game. I guess Fields would be the only one.
Yeah. Fields and maybe Cole Kmet.
Did Cole Kmet? He got hurt last week.
Did
I
he
don't
get
really know
hurt?
if he's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
What was his? I thought he had a decent. Yeah.
he did. No, he had like over 100 yards passing, and then he
that's
got
what I
hurt.
remember. So I'm gonna say
I got Bears.
you're going Bears. You're gonna go home team.
I am
Ooh.
going.
I'm
Ooh,
gonna go
this one's
Bears.
tough.
Is DJ Moore? I know he got hurt. He came back, right? Or
Yeah, he
just had a
came
bad
back
game.
in that game. He came back.
I'm
in
going
that game.
Bears.
I'm going Falcons.
Okay.
The problem with the Falcons is you just don't know. But
You don't know what you're gonna get.
yeah,
It's tough when you have a moron for a coach.
that was harsh.
Is it?
Not wrong.
Or is it
though.
true?
I think he's the most hated guy in fantasy sports right now. Like I put
just,
on.
but it's not even about fantasy. Like,
Just
don't you want
life.
your best players to play? Like, it's all about winning football games. Like, I don't know.
It's yeah, no, it's true. I'll ask you this question. I tweeted this, Jordan. If you get rid of one guy from football, who would you get rid of? Chris Collinsworth or Arthur Smith? I'm a Chris Collinsworth fan. I like him. A lot of people can't stand him. But what do you think of Arthur Smith? Do you like Collinsworth?
I don't mind him.
I don't mind him either.
I honestly don't like. There's people that like have this love-hate with announcers, and I just kind of think they're all fine. You know, like I think there's some that are really good, but I don't really like ever hate announcers, if I'm being honest.
Is Petros Papadakis one of your favorites?
Oh my god.
I usually at that point in time feel I'm listening to college football games on mute.
All right.
I'm watching them on mute by that game.
For a while, he was doing Fresno State's games.
I honestly watch him mute usually at that time of the night, anyways, even the Fresno State games.
I like Petros.
Is that like your evening chess time or what?
No, like by that time, you know, on the I'm probably watching a TV show with the football games on the side TV, you know, so
I get you. All right, moving on
Grey's
here. We have
Anatomy.
Virgin River.
Virgin River is solid.
Oh.
Forgot you're a Nicholas Sparks guy, or what is his name again?
Yeah,
You
Nick.
got it.
Nick Sparks. All right, moving on here. We have I can't believe you watch Virgin River. Is it? Do you actually?
It's a solid show, Phil. What do you want me to tell you?
The only
Solid
other
show.
person who I can see watch that show on this pod is Seth. Seth, do you watch it?
No.
Trent, do you watch it?
No, I don't watch Virgin River. I know exactly what you're talking about, but no, I don't watch it.
Oh man, that's too good. All right, we have the.
Do you watch it, Phil? Do you watch it? You know a lot about it.
No, I don't. I've seen the previews and I was just like, no, I'm not watching this show. Seems like it could be a good show. I have coworkers that tell me it's a good show. I know my wife has watched it a couple of times.
My wife
And
watches it.
I've heard good things about it. I probably would have nothing against it, but I just I can't imagine watching Virgin River while you have 4 other TVs on mute with college football games. That's just a oxymoron in my opinion.
Well,
What
get good
about
TVs and you can try it out, Phil.
what about a I don't even know what to say. I don't think I have that multitasking ability to watch like more than 2 TVs. Like my iPad and TV, I feel like I miss stuff like I said here earlier. I've been missing stuff.
I've seen you chew gum and walk, and that's honestly a train wreck, so it doesn't surprise me. All right, moving on here. All right, we have the 2-13 Panthers
I
versus
hate
the
that
8.
Seth's laughing at that. Wasn't that funny?
He's not wrong.
I've seen you try to tie your shoes with earbuds on, and geez, that is a fright.
Yeah, I'd make fun of your shoes, but I feel bad for people who wear light ups when in their 30s. So
I've seen you ride a bike and try and whistle, and oh my goodness, you almost went into traffic. I've seen you drive a car and try and take a drink of coffee on the road, and that was also a nightmare. All
I've
right.
seen you try to read scores on a pod, and just as bad. So keep going.
All right.
And when I say keep going, I mean keep going with the games. Don't keep going with that.
All right. We have the 2-13 Panthers versus the 8-7 Jaguars. Current total right now is 38, and Jacksonville is favored by 7. This is a big game for you, Medilight. Like, this is a game of all games. If your
Medilight is by far the best nickname you've ever given him.
Trent, what is wrong with you tonight?
Like,
that's a good nickname.
I know, but you were losing it over stuff.
Sorry. It's earlier than
it's
normal,
late.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, Jordan, if your Jags
froth his eggnog before the podcast? Can you see eggnog before the podcast with one of those little hand frothers
before for my coffee?
81% chance with the win to make it in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's basically a must win. So I think they win. Trevor Lawrence, I think, ends up playing.
You want him to play.
Yeah, I mean, this is a spot where he just has to not screw up. Like, he shouldn't have to try too hard. This is a great Travis Etienne spot. So they gotta get Etienne the ball 20 times, 20 carries in this game. Panthers are horrible against the run. On the flip side, I kind of like some of these Panthers receivers, like Chark, revenge game for DJ Chark.
Yes.
Mingo, Thielen. Just the Jaguars have been really bad against wide receivers and quarterbacks. Like, thinking DFS, like maybe have a little bit of Bryce Young interest, like Bryce Young to Chark with a Travis Etienne bring back. It's interesting to me. I also think Ridley's fine on the Jaguars, but don't like Trevor Lawrence in this spot. I think this is a big Travis Etienne game. I think we get like 125 and 2 touchdowns from Etienne.
The Panthers have been better against the run the last 4 games than what they have been the whole season. So I just saw that it's a little skewed, like season long. They have gotten a little better the last couple games for what it's worth there. And Chuba has 5 straight games of double-digit scoring. So Chuba has been pretty solid, kind of like a sneaky guy, fantasy football, like maybe like a little, late season hero for you for something like that.
Aaron Jones just had 21 carries for 127 yards last week against the Panthers.
Okay, I read that they had gotten better against the run. Maybe
they might, but I'm just like the week before, like Bijan kind of flopped in that spot. The week before that, Kamara had 56 carries for a touchdown, or 56 yards and a touchdown. So yeah, I mean, they've gotten a little bit better.
They're still not good. They have gotten better though.
It's a good ETN spot though. I guess what I'll say.
Yeah. I just want you to temper your expectations a little bit. Would hate to see you down bad.
I just need to win this game. So
I don't know. It like takes everything in my power to not leak like what Jordan says about the Jaguars every week, in our group text, like, how mad he gets at Trevor Lawrence and all this stuff. It's like, hey man, it's just a sport, like just relax a little bit, but they definitely need to win this game.
Well, he's got a pint of ice cream and watching Virgin River. It's like, dude, his energy is way too hot for this situation.
I had the Jaguars winning.
I'm going Jags. Duval.
Jaggies.
Yeah, Jaguars.
I'm with you, Medi Light.
Yeah,
All
maybe
right,
they need to
moving
bring
on.
that Jaguar out in the Speedo again. That
Oh,
might get the
yeah.
team fired up.
That Speedo, the Jaguar and the Speedo.
Cheeto.
Yeah, underneath the goalpost.
What's funny is you weren't here on the podcast that evening, which is wild.
I was not in Florida either, though. So
I wasn't sure. You were at a fruit convention in the Southeast, though. I remember that, Trent.
it's true. Yeah, maybe I, took a quick little flight over there, dip in the pool. Anyways, go to the next game, Phil.
All right. Imagine if that was Trent's alter ego.
I wish.
All right. The 7-8 Saints versus the 8-7 Buccaneers. Current total right now is 42. Tampa Bay is currently favored by 3.
Jordan said Shaheed. I think it's a decent wide receiver spot.
Like Olave a lot too.
Yeah, I hope Olave does good. I actually have a sit in this game. Steelers are staying with Mason Rudolph. Pickens just had his first 100-yard game since weeks.
We're on the
I'm
Saints
sorry, I'm all
Bucks
over
game.
the place here. Sorry, I got my S's.
Stop
mixed up,
giggling.
sorry.
You maybe stop giggling over there and maybe multitask a little better. You wouldn't have these errors, Trent.
I have 2 screens open right now, and like I've
so you're
told you, it's
proving
hard
Phil's
for me.
point. Proving Phil's point.
Yeah.
Can't multitask.
No, screens right here. Like I have 3 tabs open. I'm switching between games here. I should have someone else do the multitasking and flipping the slides. I should pass it over to Phil, but he'd probably ask what a slide is.
Yeah, reading out loud, I've seen you struggle with as well. All right, go ahead.
Seth could do the slides, I guess. He has the power.
Yeah, I guess.
No, okay. Olave, Shaheed, Kamara's in a decent spot. Evans and Rashad White. There's your guys right there.
Preach, brother.
Baker
has only 5 games under 16 points this year. I think Lattimore's questionable, right?
I don't know.
I thought
Lattimore kind of hasn't been good this year.
Yeah, but he's kind of owned like Mike Evans.
Yeah, but I wanted to see what did Evans do in that first matchup. I feel like he kind of broke the
curse.
Yeah.
The curse.
Yeah, he had 3 for 40, no touchdowns, so did not break the curse. So yeah, I guess we gotta look and see if Lattimore is
Mike Evans is on a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, he didn't have one there. But he's been he's got 3 TDs. Awesome. Yeah, he's been awesome. He has 8 TDs in his last since week 10.
Lattimore not expected to play.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's a good spot for Baker and Mike Evans here. So fire the cannons, boys. R-matey. I'm going Bucks. Clinch the AFC South. Anyone gonna go with Derek Carr and the Saints here?
I got Saints.
Man,
I'm going Bucks.
Derek Carr is Derek Carr and his broken ribs that Phil always
Baker is
for.
clutch. Baker is pretty clutch. I think people sleep on how clutch Baker is. Like when he needs to win, he comes through.
Minus Joe Flacco, I think Baker has a very strong argument for being comeback player of the year.
It's DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's fine, but you should. What is the award? Is it a performance based award?
I don't know, but I can tell you that
it's
DeMar Hamlin is. Award. So I will say, I just refreshed, and DeMar Hamlin went from minus 700 to minus 350. Flacco is now at 3.5 to 1. So, and Baker's at 7 to 1. So Flacco is creeping up on Hamlin a little bit. Yeah. That's big. That's a big change in odds right there.
It's a performance-based award, so it should go to one of those guys. Like I think the whole, Flacco is just like us eating Cheetos, watching Virgin River on his couch a couple weeks ago.
I mean,
and now he's just
DeMar Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin did basically die on a football field, though.
But he's played just as much as I have.
I know, but I'm just saying, it is hard to beat that narrative of you literally died in a football field and came back to life and played football again. So
yes, I do.
Has he played football again though?
He has. He's been on the field.
Okay.
I'm just saying though, like I agree with you, Trent. I'm just saying though, like
Yeah, it's performance.
it's hard to beat a
based.
guy who literally died and then came back to life and is playing football again.
It's a good
hard to beat
story.
that
Like
guy.
I think everyone loves that story, you know.
Yeah. So
But if it's
hard,
based on, they almost should have an honorary comeback player of the year. Give it to him.
yeah,
They'll probably
then
do a
give back
co
the-
award.
I honestly would not be shocked.
yeah. We'll see what happens.
We should do that. We should do that for this
The
pod,
argument
comeback
against
player of the
Flacco,
year.
Trent, is that it's the same argument to Damar Hamlin that he hasn't played enough, but the argument with Flacco is that he's played like 4 games this year.
Yeah.
That's
why stronger argument for Baker.
Yeah, I agree. Because Flacco has played 4 or 5 weeks this year. Like he wasn't even on an active roster like 6 weeks ago.
I know. Yeah, he was watching Virgin River eating Cheeto Puffs. Like I said, like some people on this.
Did you see his quote? He's like, guys, I'm not that old. I go to sleep at 7:30 like everyone else.
Yeah.
That's
Did you see that,
awesome.
Trent?
Yeah,
I think that was, it was made up, but it was funny. All right.
Yeah. I'm going. Oh, we all said
You already
Bucks,
said
right?
where you're going.
Yeah.
I got Saints, but
all right,
go to the
moving
next
on
game.
here. 8-7 Steelers versus the 8-7 Seahawks. Unofficial America's Game of the Week. Current total right now is 41.5. Seattle at home, currently favored by 3.5. Trent, you have a sit in this game, as you mentioned last game. So why don't you go ahead and just go into that there, buddy?
If we were in person, man, I'm not, I guess we'll never know what I'd do to you. But anyways, so Pickens has just had his first 100-yard game since week 7. Seahawks have only allowed CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel to top 90 yards since week 3. Do we really have faith in Mason Rudolph slinging the pill? I don't know. I don't want to play George Pickens in my fantasy football championship, even though he did really good last week. I don't know what you say here, Jordan, but like he's just been so frustrating this year. Maybe Rudolph's the guy. I don't know, but I think Seattle's actually pretty good.
I don't know. I just don't think Seattle's passing defense is anything to like be scared of. So I don't know. I don't mind Pickens.
But only 3 receivers have over 90 yards this year, and it's not that scary.
Fair point.
But Pickens is also that guy that like you play him and he gets you 1 point, you sit him and he has like 45 on your bench. Like he's very
and doesn't block anyone.
Doesn't block anyone. Do we get a Najee TD here? We got another Najee.
I'm quitting the Steelers running backs.
Phill, what do you think? You a Najee guy? You used to be a Najee guy, Phill. I think you aren't anymore.
No, yeah, I used to love Najee. He was I honestly, I don't know what it like. I still think he's great. I don't know. I just don't know what happened there with that whole running back situation. Like, what if he ends up in a place like Minnesota? I think he completely dominates. You know what I'm saying? He ends up being in like a Dalvin Cook role and just eats. But like what he's in now, it's kind of sucks.
If the Steelers don't win that last game, do you think they let Tomlin go or zero chance, Jordan?
No, they won't fire Tomlin.
Yeah, they've never. I just don't understand how Rudolph's that much better than the product you've been putting out on the field. And I think Kenny Pickett's good to go, and they're just staying with the hot hand right now.
I think so. I'm not quite sure though.
Or he's on the verge of being.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph should be the comeback player of the year from 2 years ago when he got drilled in the head with the helmet.
No matter how good Mason Rudolph is, like unless he wins a Super Bowl, all I'm going to remember is him squaring up with Myles Garrett.
No, he was trying to defend like another.
I know.
Didn't Myles Garrett win like Walter Payton Man of the Year award that year too?
Maybe the year before. I'm not sure, but there was a second where he was treating Mason Rudolph like a piñata, though. That's all I remember.
Oh man, that was a nightmare.
Seth, who are you taking here, Seth? You going Seahawks? You going Steelers? What are you doing, little guy?
Of course I'm going Seahawks, baby. What is this?
12s. I'm gonna go. I don't know. It's in Seattle. Who's playing QB? We got Geno back. What do we got over there in Seattle?
I got Seattle.
I think I'm gonna go Seattle.
Thanks, Trent. Needed that.
Just gave Phill the thumbs up.
Boost of confidence there. All right, we have the and honestly, with a win in that game, the Seahawks jumped to 87% to make it to the playoffs. So great spot to
I love this
get in there.
Wikipedia article you're on that you keep looking at everybody's win percentages. It's really cool.
It's just a nice little benefit to have as we
Yeah.
get close to the playoffs. All right, we have the 5-10 Chargers versus the 7-8 Broncos. Current total right now is 38.5. Denver is currently favored by 5.5. Was that before or after Russ got benched?
That was before that I put that line in there. So, Jordan, what is an updated line here? Has it changed at all? Got Easton Stick versus who do we got playing over there?
Let me look.
It's
We
what's his name?
got-
Watch it jump to 10.
It's the
it's
Raiders
Stidham.
guy. Stidham.
Jarrett
Stiddy.
Stidham. I got Broncos favored by 3.5, 38 total.
So it dropped by 2.
So, yeah.
Hey, a year ago, Stiddy just went off. Remember versus the 49ers? It's only a year ago. He could, maybe he catches lightning in a bottle twice. Do we want to play Denver pass catchers without Russell Wilson? Like Sutton's been pretty good this year.
He had a concussion, so I don't know if he's back or not.
So
is there anything you want to play in this one?
Like
No.
maybe a deep flyer on
Javonte.
Yeah.
Javonte.
Maybe a deep flyer on Marvin Mims, sometimes the backup QBs and those, third wide receivers. Like it's a deep flyer. This is a Hail Mary. Blindfolded Hail Mary.
I think Josh Palmer's fine, but I don't really like much in this game. So
if you're 0 RB, you might be in the championship with Javonte, right?
possible.
He was, yeah.
I feel like running backs made a little comeback this year. Like I'm seeing a lot of Kyron Williams CMC championship rosters. Which Kyron Williams could be a 0 RB guy.
That basically means you took CMC in the first round and then didn't draft running backs. Really, you waited a long time.
True.
So
So I think 58% of teams with CMC made it in the finals. So I don't know if that's something you guys
actually not as high as I thought it would be.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of Kyron Williams in the finals too.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So I think if Brock Purdy would have played maybe a little bit better this last week, I think that CMC number would be higher. I think a lot of 49er fans had CMC Purdy stacks, and Purdy did. I'm in a league and the guy lost by 4 points in semifinals because Brock Purdy just laid an absolute dud this past week, So, there probably is a lot of Purdy CMC stacks. This is a terrible game.
I got Denver.
I also have Denver.
Yeah, I'm going Denver. Ugly, but whatever.
I'll
go Chargers just to be different. I don't know if there's any man, it's ugly though. You got Eckler. He probably didn't make it this far with Eckler though.
Nope.
Chargers just for fun. Bolt up, Phill.
Bolt Kingdom. All right, moving on. Or did I said Denver.
Don't ever say Bolt Kingdom again.
This
is what happens when you think you have good ideas. You say stupid stuff. So just save yourself the embarrassment.
Phil's life, okay?
All right, let's move on here. We got the next game that we have here, boys, is a 7-8 Packers versus the 7-8 Vikings. Current total right now is 46.5. Minnesota is favored by 1.5 at home. Before we get into it, you know what it is. I'm going to give you the percentages on if they win. Vikings 49% chance to make it into the playoffs if they win. Packers are at a 55% chance to get into the playoffs if they win. Frankly, I'm shocked to hear that the Packers have any shot to be in the playoffs. Same thing with the Vikings, but it is what it is. That is the stats picture as of this week.
So, guys, I didn't tell Phill to give all these stats pictures this week. I don't know if it was a good idea. He just started doing it on his own, kind of like Jair Alexander just went out there for the coin toss on his own, even though he wasn't supposed to do that. So what a weird deal over there. So he's not playing this week.
And they wanted him, they told the captain to defer, and he said, we want to be on defense. And the article I read is like saying that doesn't necessarily mean that you're deferring. It says that you're kicking off, which is...
I've thought that guy's a knucklehead for a while. Seth, I know you're not a huge Alexander fan.
I just don't go out there if you're not supposed to be out there. Like, it's unbelievable.
He said he's from Charlotte though, and that he
Who
just
cares
thought he
where
had to
you're
go out there.
from? Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jordan, what would you do if one of your kids did that on your team? Like it was like, hey, we're having the captain's meeting, and the kid's like, hey, I'm originally from this small town that we're playing against. I'm stepping up and walking out with you.
No, it actually
are you
happened
doing?
last week. I had 2 kids that went to the school that we were playing. They asked me, some of the kids were like, can they be captains? And I said, no.
It's like,
They're
listen,
normal
buddy, I don't
captains.
care if you're from Modesto. You're not captain tonight. Like,
Which is a small town about 45 minutes north of us.
I think it's like an hour and a half.
It's more than 45 minutes, but
Depends on how slow you drive. You drive 55
Bro.
in the fast lane, Trent.
Look at
so-
a map, Phil.
can I get to my start or no?
Yeah. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Phil's
No.
giving us stats predictions rather than what he's actually supposed to do. Actually, I do like the stats predictions. It was a good change, Phil.
You're
Um,
welcome.
So I got Ty Chandler as my start of the week. Madison back. Chandler still played 65% snaps last week. Had the majority of the carries. They really didn't run the ball that much last week against the Lions. But it also was a really bad matchup. Gets a much easier matchup this week against the Packers. They give up over 20 fantasy points per game to the running back position. The last 4 weeks, the Packers have given up 22 fantasy points to Isaiah Pacheco, 22 fantasy points to Saquon Barkley, 21 fantasy points to Rashad White, and 12 fantasy points to Chuba Hubbard. 5 touchdowns allowed to running backs over the last 4 games. So really good spot for Ty Chandler, and I think he's a great play this week in the championship.
I always like Ty Chandler. I think it's a good spot. I agree with you. Good opportunity for Mullins in this game, or Vikings pass catchers. Packers have given up 6 double-digit wideout scores in the past 3 games, and now no Jair Alexander this week. But who knows? He might suit up anyways, even though he's not supposed to play. So there's that. He just runs out on the field, even though he's not supposed to be out there.
He has a cousin that's from Minnesota.
I like your start, Jordan. That's good. I'm gonna go.
This one's a tough one, isn't it?
I think I'm gonna go Packers win. I think I'm gonna
I
go
got
Packers.
Minnesota.
I'm going Vikings.
Like,
I'm
could
going
they have picked a
Vikings.
worse Sunday night game than this? Probably, but I feel
It's
like they
a
could have
nice-
flexed this.
It's a nice
It's okay.
rivalry
That's
game,
true.
though.
It could have been
Mhm.
Chargers Broncos.
That would have been worse. Like I said, I don't know. I wish we just had one more game over, in that afternoon window. Guys, this is our last pod of the year.
Phil,
Happy
what's
New
your
Year.
score prediction? Real quick before Trent does his monologue here.
I'm going to go with 46.
Seth?
Oh boy. I'm gonna go 44.
Am I the only guy who picked Packers?
Yes.
Yeah, so you
Okay, I'm
don't
gonna
have to give
go.
one.
I'm gonna go 42. Don't think I
you
really
have
need
to
a
give one.
tiebreaker. Yeah, I'm gonna go 73.
99.
Wait, so what'd you say? You said what, Trent?
44. I don't need one.
No,
I'm the only guy who picked the Packers.
Seth, you said 44, right?
I said 44.
Trent,
I'm
it's
the only-
not about that. Because other people picked other games wrong. Like,
Okay,
they're
yeah, you're right,
different.
you're
So,
right. Okay. Yeah, I'll go 40. That's what I said was 40.
okay, I will go 49.
All right, and starting, this is our last pod in the new year, guys, of the year. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Seth, you had a couple of New Year's resolutions you wanted to share with us.
No, but this I will beat. Just to prove Phil wrong, I will run under 6-minute mile pretty soon. I will do it.
In 2024 and 2023.
I could do it either or. I could do it tomorrow.
Do it. You said you're going to film yourself like 8 weeks ago, and we haven't seen squat.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Your selfie cam broke.
That's true.
He doesn't have any. Phil,
I
your
don't
New
have
Year's
any
resolutions.
No.
Make
Nothing
some
I need to
friends.
change.
I don't know. Like, there's all kinds of stuff.
I don't have anything to change, Seth.
I don't.
All right,
Zilch.
guys. I
Make it
think
to the
that
make it to the fantasy football championship maybe next year for some of you guys out there. Trent made it to one. Jordan, are you in any?
No, not any.
I did
Phil,
not
that's
make
rude.
any.
Nor did I. I'm not in any toilet bowls though, which is a
I'm winning this for the pod, guys. I'm doing it for all the dudes out there who said we wouldn't be anything. Well, look at us now. We got a trophy to our name. I guess Seth won a couple last year. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in as always. We will see you next time. Happy New Year, and as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.